Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence and welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it and I hope that this video finds you well. In today's episode, we're going to be taking a closer look at a 2020 release. This is the newest fragrance release from this company, Shalini Parfum, and this one is called Iris Lumiere, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin my fragrance review of Iris Lumiere by Shalini, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, if you like fragrance reviews here on YouTube, but also top 10 videos, giveaways, unboxings, special guests, interviews, and pretty much anything having to do with fragrances, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. All you have to do is click on that red button in the corner. And of course, while you're at it, please be sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell. This way, whenever I do put out these videos, they will get delivered straight to your feed. So here we have a 2020 release by the company Shalini Parfum. I actually do own a few others from this company, and I can tell you they are all very high quality. They're a bit on the pricey side, and that's because of the raw materials that are used here, like the orris butter that is used in this fragrance, which is one of the most intoxicating ingredients. And I personally am a huge fan of iris. I think a lot of people know that when iris is being used in perfumes, it kind of creates this floral, clean, waxy, and lipstick quality. And you have a little bit of that going on in here, but there's galbanum, there's hyacinth, there's incense, there's lily of the valley. This is a very complex fragrance, but it's all sort of centered around that note of iris. I should also mention that the perfumer for this one is Maurice Roussel, who is one of my favorite perfumers. He is a genius, and he has done every other fragrance from the company Shalini. He's also done fragrances like El de Lolita Lempica. He's done New Harlem by Bon Number 9. He's done Mousse Ravageur by Frederic Malle. So he is quite the accomplished perfumer, and I'm really excited to tell you what I get from the smell. Let's start with the presentation. So on the box, you just have this gold sticker here on the front that says Shalini. On the back of the box, you have all of your information handwritten. So it says made in France, 30 ml, and then the name of the fragrance towards the top, which is Iris Lumiere. Now, I should also mention that this fragrance does come in a few different sizes. And so what you see here is the 30 ml bottle, but this fragrance also comes in a few different sizes, and they also have the really gorgeous Lalique presentations as well. The cap for this one is a snug fit, so you can pick it up from the cap. And the distribution on the atomizer is incredibly wide. Let's continue with the smell. So as soon as this fragrance opens up, you are going to get this very bright and luscious iris note. So a lot of us know that iris can play a few different roles. It can smell waxy, it can smell like lipstick, it can smell very floral, it can have a very clean ambiance about it. In this fragrance, it comes across smelling green. And I think that that green or that verdant smell definitely contributes to the natural and organic prowess of the fragrance. So you have a lot of designer fragrances marketed for women that smell cookie cutter, they smell mass marketed, they smell commercial. This one, on the other hand, you can tell smells so true to form and so organic and natural. And that's because there is an abundance of natural raw materials used in this fragrance. And so you're going to smell that hyacinth, which also gives off a green vibe, despite the fact that it is a floral ingredient. You are going to get the iris in its pure form. You are going to get a little bit of dare I say, like a smokiness in the base, but it's not a smoke the way that you are probably presented with a smoky element in other fragrances. This one has an incensey quality, but it's very mild and it's very nuanced and very, dare I say, peculiar, but in the best possible way. So it's lurking underneath that composition, but I think it's accenting all of those other notes in quite a beautiful way. I don't get a lemony pine thing from this fragrance that I typically get from frankincense, otherwise known as olibanum. I don't get a sweet or exotic nuance from this fragrance like I do with labdanum, and I don't get this medicinal smoky quality that I typically get from benzoin. So I'm really not sure if the incense is really just the galbanum, which is also listed in the note pyramid, because galbanum is a resin that in and of itself has a green quality, but you can just tell that there is this structured weightiness resting underneath all of the other more volatile ingredients in the perfume, and it really is very beautifully constructed. So what you're mostly going to get is iris and hyacinth, not much citrus to speak of, although it does open up in this very bright and flavorful way, but I feel like it evolves very quickly to that floral heart, and that's mainly what you're going to get from this fragrance from the top to the bottom. You do get a little bit of that clean lily of the valley in here, but you are going to get this grassy nuance and this earthy and green nuance that I think is ever so inviting, and I think it really helps to paint an organic picture with a very thick brush stroke, and I love the way that this one smells in its totality. If you are a fan of floral ingredients, if you are a fan of iris, if you are a fan of hyacinth, if you like ingredients that smell floral but they're very natural and very organic, and you want an iris that doesn't veer in the side of lipstick but on the side of green, I think you're really going to enjoy this fragrance. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, this is 100% a unique fragrance. Despite the fact that I have encountered iris-based fragrances many times before, and I feel like a lot of them lean on that lipsticky side, in the case of this fragrance, it's very bright and luminous, as the name would imply. Thus, I find it to be very unique. In terms of the overall smell, incredibly pleasant. It just smells very natural, very organic. It doesn't have any ingredients that would make you second guess your love or affinity for the fragrance. I just think it's very easygoing, but you must be a fan of floral ingredients to truly appreciate this fragrance, and also green notes in perfumes as well. In terms of the longevity, I got about 8 hours on my skin, so you're gonna find about 7 to 8 hours. Projection was fantastic for the first 2.5 hours, and it didn't start to sit closer to the skin until about that 7 to 7.5 hour mark. It's also very versatile, so versatility on this fragrance is very good. I think this one can be worn all year round because of how strong it is, but I think because of the notes, people are probably going to be inclined to wear it in the spring and in the summer. This one, because of the price and also because of how precious the composition is, I would probably reserve for a special occasion. But if you do want to make this your signature scent, of course, you're going to have to wear this casually as well, so people really start to, sync the smell with you and your personality. But versatility, very good for this one. Anybody of any age can wear this one as well. And I do find this to be perfectly unisex, despite the fact that it does have a lot of floral ingredients in it. And the presentation is gorgeous, especially if you look at the Lalique presentation, which is found in a lot of Shalini fragrances, if not all of them. So my final verdict on this fragrance is, I think this is an amazing iris fragrance. But if you are buying this fragrance for the iris alone, don't. I think this is a beautiful combination of iris, hyacinth, lily, and galbanum, thus giving the fragrance a green quality. So if you're looking for a lipsticky iris, there are probably a lot of other variations on the market that would suit your needs. But if you are looking for a very natural, organic, true to form, very luminous, bright, and green iris, which is absolutely beautiful, I would say definitely check this one out. I have a feeling you're really going to enjoy this one. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. That was my review of Iris Lumiere by Shalini Parfum. If you own or have tried this fragrance, please let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to subscribe for future videos. And of course, that includes fragrance reviews like this, but also top 10s, giveaways, unboxings, and more. Thanks again for watching. I love you all, and we'll see you soon. Bye.